It should be good. I think it's automatically recording.
The lighting behind me is awful, so I'm just trying to get this a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
It's not, is it in your eyes or anything?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, just need a little light behind.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Sure can. Can you hear me?
Yep. Jason, your face is in the shadows again.
It's, yeah, I got to figure something out here. The lighting is so bad the way my desk is positioned.
Yeah, with the window, though it's the window, right?
Yeah, because you can see the sun blinding over my shoulder, but then you can't see
Yeah.
me.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Is there a window? There's no window shade there, is there?
There is, but it's like it's see-through, so
I see.
it's useless for the most part.
Yep.
Good morning, John.
Hey, good morning. It's like we're filming some crime drama, a crime documentary. We have the guy, we can only see his shadow.
That's right.
Put out a mob hit on somebody in town.
Well, hey, I did hear a rumor our office could be moving, so we'll have to wait and see for that.
To where?
Good question. I believe the existing building space.
Yeah, probably, where Council on Aging is since they're moving out.
Yeah, I'm not sure of what's happening yet. This is just all speculation and rumor mill stuff. So
They're in there working on that space, painting and whatever.
yeah, they're painting it, rehabbing, and that kinds of stuff.
Great. So it's 10:01 and it looks like everybody's here, right? Yes. So I'd like to call the meeting to order and let's start with a roll call. Kay Peterson, Chair, present.
John Quackenbush, member, present.
Steve, you're muted. Still muted, Steve.
Malfunction then.
There we go.
That's the problem.
We can hear you now.
Okay, let's see. Stephen Kruskoff, member present.
Okay, and the time is 10:01. So we have time for citizen comments. Are there any, is anyone, are there any, it looks like there are.
Yeah, there's about 6 attendees, it looks like. So if anyone would like to speak, just utilize the raise your hand function if you could, please. Sorry, Kay, I didn't mean to step on you there.
That's okay. I'm fumbling, trying to figure out how you tell who the people are who aren't panelists.
If you click on participants on the bottom,
Yeah.
Kay,
Yeah.
it'll pop up a panel and there'll be panelists and then attendees.
I'm not seeing any hands, so they may
there.
just be waiting for specific things on the agenda.
Okay, so let's move on then. Just quickly, our next meeting is scheduled for November 3rd at 10 o'clock. Could everyone please check your calendars and be sure that's okay?
Still good for me.
Good for me. Steve, Jason? Gail, Sophia,
Okay,
Yeah, good for me.
and Gail? Is Gail on?
Yes. Her audio is connecting.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, there she is. It could probably create a
So Gail, can
yeah,
you
Gail, is November 3rd good for you? I can't tell whether she's muted or not. It doesn't look as if she's muted.
no, she may still be having some trouble connecting.
Yeah. Jason, do you think it's safe to assume that she's okay with that? We can always come back to this.
Yeah, I think so. We can
Later.
always circle back at the end while she's
Okay.
connecting.
So you just fixed your video, Jason. Whatever you did made a huge difference.
Whatever I did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's leaning forward like that. What happens is that you end up blocking more of the sunlight coming in from the window when you lean forward. Interesting.
I see. So
Right.
I'll just I think this meeting's worth breaking my neck over, so that's what we'll do then.
Absolutely. All right, so we have old minutes to approve, but I'd like to propose that we move ahead to the agenda items that may be the reason some of our attendees are here. And am I right, Jason, that at least one of these people is related to number 5 on the agenda, 8 Greystone?
That is correct. I see Nicole and Jim McAllister.
Oh, two people, okay. So why don't we proceed with that? Jason, would you like to summarize the issues?
Sure. If we could just first, is there any way to promote them, Sophia, so they can join us?
Yep, I'll send you both invites now to be promoted to a panelist.
While we're waiting, I see Gail. Gail, did you hear us talking about the next meeting on November 3rd?
I missed that.
Is that a good date for you?
I have scheduled an appointment at 11:30 that day.
So this would be a 10 o'clock meeting, so that would probably conflict, right?
I could be there for the first hour.
And that would give us an incentive to be really efficient with our meeting, or we could move it back to 9:30, whatever. What do people think?
Steve, did you have a comment?
yes, I'd like to go over the reasoning for having it at 10 a.m. in the morning versus having it in the evening. My current view is that more people are available to attend it in the evening than might be at 10 a.m. in the morning. And turns out that Sophia would be available around 7:30 in the evening to help us out with recording the minutes at that time. And I'm just wondering if there's any consideration returning to that time.
Jason, you recall why we switched? Can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of go based off everyone's schedule. It really, as a staff member, it really makes no difference to me. It's really whatever works for the group.
I'm
So
fine with
I'm good either way.
I'm fine with the evenings too. That works better for everybody else.
I am too. Gail, how do you feel about evening versus daytime?
I'm flexible.
Yeah, the only thing for Sophia is I know we wouldn't have her until 7, so we couldn't start until at least then.
And that's fine with me.
Yeah, that's okay.
So do
So-
you want to do that for our next meeting, or you want to think about that for December? What do you guys want to do?
I would propose that we think about it for the next meeting since Gail has something of a conflict with
Okay.
November 3rd at 10 a.m.
Sure.
How is everybody for that evening?
Perfect.
Ditto.
Now
Steve,
that the Red Sox are eliminated, absolutely fine.
sorry.
So 7 or 7:30?
7.
All right, perfect.
So Gail, Sophia, Jason, that's all okay with you? All right. So 7th, I'm sorry, you said 7?
Yep.
7 p.m.
Okay, great. All right. Let's, and have the people
Yep.
here, they've been promoted?
Yep.
Okay, Jason, would you like to summarize the issue? I mean, you've sent some great emails that summarize it, but I think for the purposes of our minutes, it would make sense to give a little capsule.
Yeah, I'll do my very best here, but what I would say also to Nicole and Jim, you guys know best. You've been living it for a couple of years now, so if there's anything I'm missing here, feel free to jump in at the end just to kind of give clarification or anything you may need to do. But so anyway, this issue kind of goes back to I think 2023 is when it kind of first came to fruition. Not sure if you guys remember, but we discussed this 8 Greystone septic plan on one of our agendas. You know, sometime in 2023, Bob Zokoff came to that meeting because he had concerns about the water line, completely unrelated to this, but, you know, just to give you an idea of how long this has been going on. Basically, what's happening is 8 Greystone built this new house, you know, embarked on this project. Put in a pool, did all kinds of work in their yard. And during the construction and beyond, I mean, it's finalized at this point. It's kind of created like this downhill slope that leads directly into the McAllister's backyard. So anytime there's a heavy rainfall event, the side of their yard, front of their yard, backyard just kind of gets inundated with water. Have all kinds of pictures and videos that I'm happy to share on our shared meeting drive. So if the board would like me to do that, I can do that. So in the beginning of this, we weren't involved much. It was town engineer and highway department were involved in the beginning stages since it involved stormwater elevations. We only kind of got involved as of recently, as of the last couple of months, because I found out from Jim, who's been awesome about the communication. It seems like this has really started to impact their septic system. So obviously that's our realm. That's a concern of ours. So have visited the property a couple of times, dating back to, I think it was May when you and I met out there, Jim. Kay, you stopped by there over the weekend. The leaching area does not appear to be in great shape, just based off of my observations. It has signs of ponding and breakout, which is really not something that should be happening on a properly functioning system. So that's kind of where we stand as of today. I have concerns about the septic system, so that's kind of my main issue at this point. Anything I'm missing, Jim or Nicole, anything you might want to jump in and add that I might be overlooking here?
Nothing on my end. I think you kind of covered it there. As I said, you've got the videos, you've seen all the pictures.
Yep.
I will sort of say that this has actually been going on since 2021.
Gotcha.
But with some of the more recent changes, especially with the pool, which was not done correctly to the plans in terms of the elevation change. The elevation change between property was supposed to be about 2 to 3 feet, according to the plans. It's probably closer to 10. And that is what is now causing the major runoff into our backyard. So we've always kind of seen a little bit coming into the front yard, but it's now going into the backyard, which is where the septic system is, to your point. So, we've had considerable ponding, and unfortunately landscapers getting stuck in the septic system or the leaching field as well.
And also, I think we had someone come out and look at our septic system. I think one of the companies that put it in, or the company that takes care of our septic, and they said that with this type of system we have, this shouldn't be happening.
Any comments or questions from the board?
Jason, do you have the original septic system specifications?
We do. Actually, the system is what? How old, Jim? Like, it's only about 10 years,
Yeah,
right?
no, it was
Okay.
put in 9 years ago, right before we bought the house. It was
Yeah.
a brand new system.
And when was the house next door built? Or rebuilt?
It was purchased in 2021. It took them 3.5 years to build it.
Uh-huh. And what was there before? Another house or?
Another home, yes. But there was, when they purchased the property, they clear cut it. So there used to be about a 20-foot buffer zone, if you will, of trees between our property lines.
Uh-huh. And did they bring in fill?
I would say yes, they did to some degree.
I'm just wondering how the elevation changed so much.
Yeah, they brought in fill. They moved some of the fill around, some of the soil on the property. They actually, when they were building the house, had to do about a month of ledge destruction or hammering, and use that stone as well to sort of build up that edge of the property.
Anyone else have questions?
Have all the board members seen the pictures, or is there anything you guys want to see? I'm happy to share my screen if you want to do that.
No, I saw the pictures in the video. It's
Okay.
pretty bad flooding.
Did you?
And I can
the-
see why it's troublesome for the septic system.
Did you see the photographs from Saturday that I took?
No, I haven't seen those.
I just shared those this morning, John, so
Okay.
they may just be sitting in your inbox there.
Okay.
Do you want to pop them up, Jason? Is that easy for you? In theory, I could, but it would take an hour.
Oh, I have them here. I've got them. If you like, I can share them.
Sure.
All right. Oops. So here's one with the flooding.
But it's not, I don't know, if flooding.
Oh,
is
that's
the-
not flooding. Yeah,
that's
there was no
pond.
rain, so that's just going to
Yeah.
be.
There
Yeah,
hadn't-
that's just their leaching area.
There hadn't been rain and, I mean, this was on Saturday and the
Yeah,
last time it rained, I think, was a little bit on Wednesday.
that's just the ponding that's been created because of the what I'm assuming is damage to the system.
Septic.
Yeah, and here's the other one. Yeah, I'm sure the ground is just completely saturated, and so you're just getting back up.
And I will say that spot is generally very soft, but that specific location is where our landscaper did get his lawnmower stuck in the mud.
Mud is probably a euphemism.
Well, it's still dirt, it's just the
Yeah.
water is not.
Right, right. So what do you all think is the best next step? It seems to me that the septic system has failed, right? It appears that. Is the next step to have a Title V inspection done, Jason?
I think so. I think that's the best course of action. Just that way we know definitively, and then we all have a legal document in hand that says what's what, and we can at least go from there.
Well, and
Uh,
it sounds like there's pretty good documentation. If the Title V inspection can look at possible causes and look at some of the evidence, And I think there's pretty good documentation this is due to the runoff from the neighbor's house. And especially if the pool wasn't built to the design specifications that were approved, it sounds like it's pretty clear where the problem rests.
Go
You're
ahead,
going to say
Steve.
something, Steve?
Yes, I was wondering whether it's within the purview of the Title V inspectors to make that sort of comment, or just to describe conditions as is on the property in question.
That's a
Yeah.
good question. Jason, do you have any thoughts about that?
I mean, they would definitely be able to speak to what's caused the failure criteria. So the Title V report should, in theory, give us some information on that regard. So that's kind of the hope here.
Are there any, I don't know what the right word is, but specifications about runoff and onto septic fields, leaching fields? I've never heard of anything like that, but just wanted to be sure there's nothing you're aware of, Jason.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the question. Are you speaking to the pool elevations that Jim commented on?
Well, are there data about what kind of what amount of flooding is likely to make a system fail, and is that addressed at all in Title V?
That's a good question. Not that I know of. But I think, you know, to Jim's point, I think what he's saying is that one of the things is they put in this new swimming pool, which you probably saw when you visited, Kay.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they didn't follow the elevations that were on the approved site plan from the town engineer. So not really our avenue, more of a stormwater related thing. I don't know how that can really be enforced at this point. That would be a highway department matter. But either way, I mean, I think Title V inspection is probably the best course of action right now, just so we know what's what. And honestly, beyond that, I think what this may come down to is it may just be a civil matter between the two property owners. That's just kind of how I feel at this point. I don't know what the board is thinking.
I mean, that's probably true, unfortunately, but I think, you know, just really getting good documentation for what's happened and, you know, what the problem is, that's going to be important for the homeowners to understand, for the McAllisters to understand too.
I have a question for the McAllisters. Do you have any video, recent video, and since all the work has been completed next door, any video of water, of the runoff coming onto your property?
Yeah, we have documentation, I think, from earlier this spring.
Great.
We've got 4 years of documentation, to be quite honest.
Okay.
I sent you what I think was the clearest and most obvious cases of runoff, but I was actually reviewing my camera roll and realized that I first reached out to the town back in 2021 with video of water coming onto my property. So we've got plenty of documentation, and also, for what it's worth, the Title V, we'll see what they say. I did have the engineer who designed the system come to the property also in the spring. And he said that it was his opinion that it was caused by stormwater runoff due to the elevation change.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that, Jim, because I mean, this is really not us for the Board of Health to dictate or really get involved in or mediate, but I will say it does appear that you have a lot of good evidence in your favor, because I know the email that you're speaking to. I have a copy of it myself from that engineer who spoke to that. Also, too, on one of your recent, I don't know off the top of my head who your wastewater is that operates every year. I think it might be wastewater treatment services.
Yep, that's right.
They put it right in their report, right? They said hey, the system's inundated with water. There's something going on here. So, I think there's a lot of good stuff in your favor. I just don't know that it's ultimately going to fall on us to make a determination on.
So, but if the Board of Health feels that the runoff, let's say after the Title V inspection is completed, and after review of the plans and the discussion of stormwater by the Highway Department or Building Department, I guess, right? If the Board of Health feels that the stormwater is likely to have led to the failure of their septic system, then this becomes a public health issue, because it's not going to be fixed unless there's a remedy to the problem of the stormwater
Yeah.
next door. And we're just going to be back in this situation in
Yeah,
a few years. Let's
point.
say their system fails Title V, which we know it's going to. They put in a new system. If there's no remedy to the stormwater problem, then, as I said, we'll start all over again. So what does that mean about the role of the Board of Health? I'm not asking that because I know the answer. I don't quite know how we proceed with something like that.
Well,
is that-
so that's a great question, Kay. I mean, the board can deem the situation to be a public health nuisance, not the septic itself necessarily. I'm talking strictly about this stormwater runoff. If we're looking at this and we say, this happens anytime there's a heavy rainfall, it completely inundates the whole property, front and back. If the board looks at that and says this is a public health nuisance, that can be enforced by us under Mass General Law, Chapter 111.
And then what do we do?
Then we can order the property owners next door to rectify that situation.
Yeah.
I see. In whatever way it's not our job to figure out how they rectify it. That's their
Correct.
job. Yeah. I'm inclined to want to make a site visit the next time there's a heavy rainfall.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea, Kay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I think this Title V inspection is going to be critical too.
Yep, I agree. And Jason, you could buy us all Dover Board of Health rain gear for the site visit.
I could in theory, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and look, the McAllisters have been very gracious. They've kind of allowed us to come out and poke around at will, just so we can get good pictures, get eyes on what's going on, that type of thing. So if they're still on board with us doing that, that's something I'm more than happy to set up. Should start getting a little bit wetter here in the coming months. So maybe not necessarily once everything freezes, but you know what I mean. I'm sure we'll get some rains in October, November. So yeah, it'd be a good opportunity to kind of come out and see what's going on.
Yeah, you're more than welcome, Jason, and everyone else. You're more than welcome to stop by. If there's a heavy rain and we're not around, feel free to come in and take a look whenever you feel it's appropriate.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, thank you.
You know, I didn't knock on your door on Saturday when I got there. I didn't want to disturb you, but I felt awkward about not doing that.
No worries. No worries. If you knocked on the door, you just would have received barks from a dog, probably. That's about it. But you're more than welcome to come by whenever.
Okay.
Well, now you know what we all look like too. So
Right, exactly. You can wave to the camera too.
So are you guys, the McAllisters, are you okay with this Title V inspection? Is that something you'll be able to take care of?
Yeah. You know, just let me know what the best way to do that is and get that set up is.
Jim, we can talk more offline, but let me know and I can send you a list of folks in the area.
Okay.
That way we can get something coordinated. But I think that's the next best course of action. That way we have something. Like I said, it's official. It's a legal document. It'll have some information about what failure criteria could be. Yeah, and we can kind of go from there. So just we'll be sure to touch base again sometime maybe later today or this week.
Okay, that's great.
All right, good. Anything else? Any other questions or comments about this topic? Okay, then. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
both,
Thank
and-
you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's move on to the next item of the agenda, which is number 6, scheduling our tobacco hearing. We still have some attendees who may or may not be here for that issue. If they're here for something else, maybe they could speak up, but I'm just going to assume they're here.
Yeah, I recognize some of the names. I know Josh, I've chatted with a lot. He's here for tobacco. I believe Ryan is as well. Same with Andrew. Armand, I'm not sure. But yeah, I would say for them, if any of you guys want to comment or anything, just utilize the raise hand function, and we'll be sure to give you an opportunity to speak.
Okay, so
I think
Jason-
they're just, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, Kay. I think for the most part, they're just here to listen in so they know what's going on.
okay. Jason sent a draft of a proposed regulation for us to town council and got it back and then forwarded it to all of us. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So, Jason, do you have anything you want to say at this point?
No, I mean, we're long overdue, I think, to schedule this. If you recall, we were ready to schedule it last month, but we didn't have the draft back in hand yet. So we're kind of just, waiting to get that back from town council. It's more or less what I submitted to them to begin with, just kind of a more cleaned up, proper version. There's not a lot of changes there. I don't really have much to say. And I guess it's up to you guys what you want to do in terms of this hearing. My thought is the hearing could just be our November meeting, or we could set up a separate date. Totally up to you guys. I know it's hard. It'd be hard to kind of coordinate back-to-back meetings, especially since that following week in November is Veterans Day week.
Yeah.
But totally up to you guys. I mean, at this point in time, I don't have a lot for the November agenda, so it might make sense to just have this be our November meeting, and then maybe have the camp folks come to our December meeting, since we were planning on having them come in November. Steve, you had a comment?
Well, it would certainly be imperative that the meeting be at a time that was convenient for all the parties. And I believe that the evening time is that time that it's more convenient. Should there be a vote in the affirmative to have this hearing? I'm also in favor of having the hearing at a separate time, if there is to be a hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think moving to the evening is good because you're going to have more people who are working able to come and join. But I think it would be fine to have it at our November meeting. It should just be the first thing we do.
I would agree, and maybe we could, hopefully there'd be nothing so pressing that we'd need to discuss it in addition to having the hearing, but we could always add, if there was something that was critical to discuss in November, we could add it on at the end.
This hearing, if it is indeed called a hearing, has certain requirements regarding posting that might be different from posting our regular meeting.
Yes, hearings definitely have different posting requirements. There needs to be notification in newspaper. I don't know where else, but certainly the newspaper.
Well, and the
Maybe
good thing
call
is we have a month to do it, so.
Yeah. Jason, you want to just review what the requirements are for posting? a
Yeah,
hearing?
I mean, you pretty much covered it, Kay. It has to be posted in the newspaper, at least 2 weeks prior to the meeting. And my hope too is since this is kind of a big deal, I want to blast it out to everybody. You know, we'll put it on Facebook. We'll get it to all the schools. We'll put it on our webpage. Just, you know, get as many eyes on it as we possibly can. Because any and all input we can get is appreciated. So, yeah, we'll advertise the heck out of this, and that'll be that. Go ahead, Steve.
Is there a question of the capacity of Zoom to hold as many potential speakers as there may be?
I know many of our other departments have dealt with issues with, you know, probably hundreds of people on the Zoom, and it seems to have held up just fine. So, not something I'm really concerned about.
Yeah, I think the town has a big enough license to be able to bring everybody on board.
Any other questions, comments before we vote on whether to accept this draft and as our proposed regulation? Then I would like to entertain a motion to adopt the drafted regulation that we all received from Nina Pickering Cook and her staff.
So I move we adopt the draft recommendation regarding,
Regulation, John, draft regulation. Regulation,
what did I say?
recommendation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I move that we adopt the draft regulation as edited by Nina Pickering Cook for discussion at a November 7th Board of Health public meeting.
It's John, it's November 3rd.
Okay, one more time. You can tell I'm having a bad day. I move that we adopt the draft regulation for discussion at our November 3rd Board of Health meeting. Public discussion at our November 3rd Board of Health meeting.
I will second that. All in favor? Aye, Kay Peterson.
Aye, John Quackenbush.
No, Stephen Kruskal.
So the motion passes. So Sophia, you'll be sending us all a Zoom invite, right? Getting this into our calendars. Thank you. Steve.
I have a question of Jason, and that is on the posting, is the vote of the board recorded in the post?
You mean when we do our minutes?
No, when we are posting this meeting for this issue, is the board vote on having this discussion published in the newsprint or the county register or anything like that?
Not typically. I would consider that unusual unless the board feels differently and would like that information posted.
I've never seen anything like that in a notice of a public hearing.
Neither have I, and I think it'll be very clear, you know, once this is presented and discussed, what different people feel about it. And it will, I mean, this, you know, the vote is also going to be in our board minutes, which will be published.
I have a question, and that is, has the board ever received in writing reassurance of indemnification by the town for any actions taken by the board, specifically about this proposed issue or any issue, such as the COVID issues that we had in the past.
I mean, do we have documentation in writing that
We
we
have
have?
documentation from the town that we are indemnified for our actions as members of the Board of Health.
I don't know.
We
if we
don't.
have-
We don't.
So you're not asking a question, you're making a
Well,
point.
I thought maybe you might be aware of such existence, but to my knowledge, having looked and asked a number of times, we don't.
It is my understanding that we are indemnified.
And that's why I did, and I believe you did as well during COVID when the board was sued by a member of the town, that we both consulted personal lawyers.
I don't understand your point.
Point is that it's possible that there is no written reassurance from the town forthcoming that the actions of the Board of Health are indemnified. And therefore, some actions may end up being at personal cost in defending such legal challenges.
Steve, I don't, I've never been concerned enough to want to ask for something in writing, but if you're concerned about that question, you might approach the town administrator for documentation.
I have done so 3 times in the past 6 or 7 years.
Uh-huh.
And
Nothing.
Well, maybe it's something we can take up sometime. I'm not worried enough about it that I want to do it right now, but we could put it on the list of things to explore. Sophia, you'll make a note of that, about that in the minutes, right?
Yeah, look, I'm happy to check with the town administrator, just, if the board wants reassurance. I know for a fact, I mean, this has come up probably, 2-3 times since I've been here. I know we've talked about it with town council. Can I locate exactly right this second where it is in writing? No. But I know it's somewhere. But either way, I'm happy to get some reassurance and see if I can find out.
yeah, I mean, it would make sense. It would be indemnified for official actions.
Wouldn't it be
Nice.
reassuring to have it in writing?
What did you say, Steve?
Wouldn't it be reassuring to have that in writing?
It's not something that I am worried about. I think that there is, I have heard, I was told when I first joined the Board of Health that we were indemnified. And I have no reason to doubt the veracity of the person who said that to me, though. If you ask me to remember who it was, that I doubt my ability to do that, but I'm not worried about it, but if you are, we can
Yeah,
ask about it.
Yeah, Jason, if you'd look into it, I think that would help reassure Steve.
Yeah.
I'll get it in writing, but then the 3 of you have to promise to post it on your fridges at home so we never have to talk about it ever again.
I will go out and buy a magnet today.
All right. I guess we have a deal then.
All right. So shall we move on?
Yeah, Kay, if I may, I don't want to go too much out of order here, but Amy McInerney was nice enough to take time out of her day to join us to speak about the MHOA intern program. So I was hoping we might be able to give her a few minutes.
Great. Let's skip to that then. Amy, welcome. I don't see her.
So,
Someone making her a panelist? Yep.
Yep.
Hello.
Hey, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Hi. Nice to see you all.
Thanks for
Same.
joining us this morning.
Yeah, Yeah. Would you like me to just start by describing the program?
Yes,
Please.
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 Okay. All right. So my name's Amy. I've met several of you before. I used to be the regional inspector for Charles River Public Health District, and I'm now the assistant director for the Pathway to Local Public Health program, which is through MHOA. So this program is in a pilot phase. So we're, quite small, and we're kind of trying to do proof of concept at this point. But the goal of the program essentially is to recruit community college students to learn how to become health inspectors with the intent of them being hired into the field as health inspectors. So the program is 9 months long for each student, and they are placed in a health department where they are basically shadowing an inspector, learning how to do inspections with the intent that by the end of their time in the program, they're able to conduct most inspections on their own. They are also getting trainings that any other health inspector would get. So there's some online trainings that every inspector has to do. They're doing those throughout the program. They are getting their certifications in food safety, also like public pools, different things like that most inspectors will have. They can't get every certification. They're probably not gonna be able to get like Title V because that's just very time intensive and also quite hard to get into. But if they do get in, that'd be great. But that's just something I like to make clear. But they're more than welcome to shadow and learn all of those different intricacies of Title V, which I know is very important in Dover. So I am basically the lead person for the student. So the health department is giving them those in-person opportunities, but I'm really the person that's overseeing their time in the program. So we really don't expect the health departments to take on that managerial role. It's really more giving them the in-person experiences that they need. They do work part-time and they are paid. So they are doing 19 hours a week in total. So by the end of the program, they're probably going to spend the full 19 hours in the health department, but the first few months, they're going to be doing a lot of their online work and different things like that. And then, like I said, they are paid and they're paid through MHOA. So the town doesn't have to incur any of those costs. We also pay for all of their trainings and any other materials that they might need. And we also do provide a stipend to the health department to participate. So we do offer $10,000 to the department for, all the work that it does take to train someone up, because that in-person work is a lot of work. I know it to be true. I've done it myself. So that is kind of the main overview of the program. Like I said, we're very much in a pilot phase, trying to prove proof of concept to the state, who is our funder. We're funded through the Department of Public Health, and we are funded through December 2026. And as of right now, we have 5 students in the program. They started in March and then a couple in June, and we're hoping to onboard about 10 more students in January, which is why we're interested in having Dover participate, because there are a few community colleges in the area that might be a good fit. We're also likely going to have Needham as part of it as well. So if for whatever reason we don't have enough students for both towns, which I think we'll be fine, but if we don't, we'll have at least a student that's going to be in Needham, and then, because we have the regional group, they're going to spend a lot of time in Dover too. So there's really good opportunity for regionalizing that. So it just depends on what kind of students we get and where they are geographically. That's how we match them to the health department. So I think that's my spiel. I'm happy to answer any questions. And I'm really excited at the opportunity to have a student place with you guys.
Yeah, you may have heard we have a really outstanding health director here.
Yes.
Who seems to know
familiar.
a little bit. Jason, the only question I would have is, is this something that you would be supportive of, and do you feel it's something that wouldn't have a negative impact on your ability to do your work?
Not at all. I mean, we love having interns here. We love having the extra help. We've been lucky. As you guys know, we've had really 2 awesome interns. I mean, Exhibit A is sitting with us right here. So anyone we can bring in, I mean, it benefits us both, right? I mean, we get the extra help, and we get to kind of groom that person to get to where they want to be, right? Whether it's health agent somewhere, maybe a health director someday, whatever it may be. I got lucky, actually. I went to a conference a few weeks ago, and it just so happened Amy had a table set up there, and she was communicating this opportunity to people. So certainly I was all over it. Amy and I chatted about it. I invited her today. I think it's an awesome opportunity for us, so I'm all for it. I just kind of wanted to get your guys' formal blessing so we could officially move forward.
Steve, do you have any comments or questions?
So be it.
I second Steve's motion that we move forward with a partnership with MHOA.
Yeah. Should we have a formal vote on this?
Sure.
Okay, so Steve, can you turn "so be it" into a motion, please?
I motion that so be it.
I second Steve's motion that we partner with
Come on, you guys.
MHOA for an intern to have interns work with our health department.
All in favor?
John
Aye,
Quackenbush.
Aye, Kay Peterson. Steve, do you want to vote?
I, Stephen Kruskal.
And
And-
I'll indemnify you for that, Steve.
And Sophia, did you get the language of that motion? Okay, great.
So Amy, by the way, while she's here, she helped us a ton when she was the shared health agent for the group. She pretty much did all our food inspections and, complaint follow-ups, things like that. So we owe her a lot beyond just this. So thank you, Amy, for all that. And thank you for joining us today to
Yes.
present this opportunity. Looking forward to partnering yet again.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much for having me, and I really appreciate you being interested in the program. Excited to work with all of you again. Thank you.
All right. See you, Amy. Take care.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Amy.
Bye. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Amy. Okay, so let's move on and go back to Gail's report, public health nursing report.
So I'll lead off with the flu clinic that was held on Friday, October 3rd, with a huge shout out to Kay and Sophia, who supported the operations in the clinic. We had roughly 90 people who came in for flu or flu and COVID, a pharmacist and a nurse employed by Pine Hill did the vaccines. It was a great opportunity for me personally to introduce myself to a lot of the residents, speak about public health and the Board of Health. We also, with Kay and Felicia, did offered additional services through the Board of Health. There was a resident who was coming in for vaccines that also needed a document notarized, and Felicia was very flexible and agreeable to coming in. This resident also had to remain in his vehicle, so he got the notary work done. He got his vaccines, and he was very pleased with that. Another resident came in who needed assistance at the clinic and had questions about paying real estate taxes, and Kay and Sophia were very helpful to her. She also was interested in resources for learning English. She was limited. A newer resident primarily speaks Chinese, but she came not only once, but twice back to work with Kay and look at resources for learning language. So these clinics offer a great opportunity just to go to understand what residents are looking for and resources beyond getting a vaccine from the Board of Health. So people were very favorable about the clinic, spoke about its convenience, its hours, easy access. I did highlight that there were more opportunities coming up through the Board of Health. We are doing a hands-only CPR demonstration. I'm partnering with Parks and Recreation, and this will be a demonstration initially exclusively for parents and families that want to learn hands-only CPR. So the demonstrations are going to be offered on a Sunday afternoon and a Monday evening to accommodate schedules, educate them on hands-only CPR and the AED. And we also will have a resident who is a survivor of sudden cardiac arrest who will also introduce it at the clinic. She's been instrumental working with Mark and I and very interested in getting this initiative out into the community. The Dover COA also is interested in participating in this, and I have a hands-only CPR demonstration education scheduled with them on December 8th. And we'll also partner with the COA starting blood pressure screenings at least twice a month to start in the Carroll Center. So those are the updates, just MAVEN data from September. Nothing unusual. We continue to have cases of Lyme disease, but nothing significant or out of the ordinary. One case of foodborne illness, but it was not within our jurisdiction. It was on the Cape, actually, in follow-up for that resident. Flu is continuing to be an issue, and flu cases, as I spoke about last month, were higher than last year, and we're starting to see early in the season some cases of active flu. We had a couple of residents who canceled their vaccine appointments, were in fact have to defer because they were recovering from flu.
They won't need the vaccine.
There are other strains.
Other strains, right.
Yeah.
Well, I suspect that if you've got one strain, that gives you pretty good coverage for a few months toward.
I don't know that that's true, Steve. I'm not sure I would say that in a board meeting because I think that's, I don't think that's it's possible that, but it's still, a flu vaccine dose is still indicated after you've recovered from the flu.
Yeah.
I have a question in terms of the deployment of the AEDs. Could you just tell us which ones have been deployed, the new AEDs?
I didn't understand your question.
Tell us which of the new arrivals of the AEDs have been deployed and to where?
So in the Carroll Center, 2 brand new AEDs have been installed, one near the kitchen, the other one near the gym. There is one that, speaking with the library staff last week, that will go in at the lower level of the library. And the last one will be installed on the 2nd floor here in the townhouse.
Okay.
Do I have that right, Jason? Yeah.
And there's the little AED identifier or a locator app too, which has all the information.
Yes. I think partnering the hands-only CPR, the AED education, and blood pressure screenings all tie in together as a public health initiative for the community, regardless of age. The blood pressure guidelines released by the American Heart Association were updated in August of 2025, and it is aimed to catch hypertension earlier in younger adults so that they do not develop end-stage renal disease, complications from blood pressure that goes undetected. I have started the clinics in Sherburne, and the response has been pretty impressive. I'd like to be able, and maybe I'll do evening clinics for families, for parents and families too, through the Carroll Center.
That'd be great.
Other work, I've touched base with the school nurses. There's been just a case that I needed to work with them on specifically about a student in the middle school and high school siblings. And that partnership works very well. They're grateful for any information of cases that come to our attention through the Board of Health. And as a courtesy, I reach out to the nurses if I know it's, if there are students in the school. And just make them aware of some of the work that we're doing in the community.
Great.
Any questions?
Are you publicizing the AED app to town residents? I think you said.
So it was on, it is on the Board of Health website, and it will be in the communications that Parks and Rec, when they send out their information. I'd like to be able to get it into one of the COA newsletters too, as well.
Great.
Keep up the awesome work, Gail. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Gail?
No?
Thanks, Gail. I thought the vaccine clinic was a great success. It was smooth. I mean, the only problem was at the very beginning, what happened,
We had a lot of people that showed up earlier, and a line formed pretty quick. Some people were a little frustrated that they had to wait a bit for it, but I think overall people were very positive. A few people left not satisfied that they could not get their vaccine at the scheduled time, but they were invited to come back anytime because we had quiet periods during the afternoon. So I'm hoping, they'll get vaccinated either way.
there were quite a few walk-ins, weren't there?
There were several walk-ins. Yeah. There was, I'll mention, there was one situation where we had a resident brought his parents who were not insured, but we were able to refer them to the clinic in Needham to get vaccinated, and that was held on Saturday, October 4th.
Why Needham? Do they have a program that allows them
So
insurance?
yes, they do. It's called the VFC program. So they're able to offer it.
Is that something that we could potentially participate in once we're doing our
I
own
think
clinic?
we would have to prove need
Yeah.
in the community.
Mhm.
As you know, hopefully fingers crossed with the medical director
Yeah.
coming up in the next year. There are many different steps and many different ways that we'll be in discussion with, that I will discuss with the board and Jason, obviously, of what we're able to do, what our capacity is, what programs that we're offering. I will be grateful when we get up and running on the technology that's available through Department of Public Health, because as you know, handling a lot of paper at those clinics can be time consuming.
Mhm.
And having done a couple of Needham clinics, it is seamless when it's all online and easy just to check in, document, and it avoids the lines.
Yeah, that's great. All right. Anything else? Thank you, Gail.
Thank you.
That was a lot of work, doing that clinic.
It
Thanks.
was fun.
Great success.
Thank you.
All right. We'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Number 9, air quality.
Yeah, so on this one, I was kind of hoping for just some general discussion. Basically, what's happened is once or twice I've heard from a resident who lives in the neighborhood, behind the townhouse here, kind of just inquired about air quality at the center of town, just as it relates to traffic, construction, landscaping equipment. I don't know if it's ever come up here in the past that, I didn't know if the board had any comments on it. Just trying to figure out if there's anything you might like to do with this, or just kind of any thoughts you might have on it.
Steve, do you remember ever discussing air quality?
Only in regards to a proximity of a goat farm.
Yeah.
But I do have a question about current technology. Is the current technology available such that you can have a handheld air quality meter that gets a pretty accurate indication of what's going on as far as particulate matter and carbon monoxide in an area? Do we have anything at all that resembles that sort of thing for indoors currently?
For indoors, we do, but not outdoors.
So if the technology was available and it wasn't overly expensive to purchase one or to learn to use, it might be something worth having to address people's concerns if that came up. I suspect that the air quality in the center of town during the commuting hours isn't quite the same as it is the rest of the time.
Yep.
And maybe there's an issue that's enough for some people to be concerned about.
So yeah, I just looked, and there's actually a mass DEP program to get air quality sensors.
Is this the PM 2.5?
Yeah, the
sensors?
PM 2.5. It might make sense downtown where traffic builds up in the morning and evenings.
Are these expensive?
I know, Woody and I have a handheld in-house monitor. I think that they're not that, the PM 2.5 monitors, I don't think are expensive. There's a whole network of them around the country.
Yeah,
Is it?
they're less than
They're-
$300.
Yeah. The question is, how do you use the information from it?
Well, there might be comparable data from other towns already out there. And
Well, there is some data about Massachusetts that there's a map that shows where the levels of pollutants are the highest, and they track along the interstates, obviously, and they're also in the urban areas. And we could send that around. We could send that around and you could take a look at it. Or Jason, is it something you could post? You could put up right now for people to just take a quick look at?
Are you talking about the map that you shared with me this morning?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can pull it up if you like.
sort of interesting.
Yeah, so Kay shared this with me this morning. I thought it kind of had a cool graphic in here. I'm gonna see if I can zoom in on it. Yeah, so this is kind of the breakdown, as we might compare to other areas, say Boston or Brockton, Worcester, whatever it may be.
Yeah, you can see it's concentrated along the highways, but we also don't know where they're measuring in communities either.
Right.
Right, and if there's anywhere in Dover where it's likely to be elevated, it's along Center Street, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean the intersection of Center and Walpole and Springdale, where traffic backs up morning and evening.
So I recall hearing something, I don't know if it was a rumor or there's some validity to it, but that the town is thinking about a traffic study about that intersection. Has anyone else heard this? I could just be hallucinating. Steve?
so there's two things I know that I don't have references for them. One is that there is a statewide study and money has been granted for towns to look at the traffic patterns. And it's certain towns, it's not all 352 towns, the traffic patterns with these sensors, and to see if there's a way to ameliorate some of the tie-ups during rush hour with changes in either the amount of length of lights or just how the things are structured. That's one thing. The other issue is somewhat related. I'm not sure if people are aware that Haven Street and Center Street has been the source of multiple accidents, including 4 in the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Wow.
Car accidents, collisions. And I suspect Chief Ince is certainly aware of this and is probably doing something about it, but I haven't had a chance to talk to him about it. But a number of people feel as though that a light should be installed there because of this frequency. John Stellenberger's car was T-boned there about 5 or 6 weeks ago. And there's been at least two that I've been told about since then, the collisions. And I think that's the purview of the Board of Health if nothing's done about it because of the very high frequency of accidents.
I don't know if it's our purview. Jason, do you have any experience with this, with boards of health getting involved in traffic safety issues?
I mean, I don't know that I would, just because I wouldn't want to step on highway department's toes or public safety's toes. I think it's more so for the two of them.
Yeah.
I get that car accidents, you could certainly make a case that that is a public health concern, but I don't know that it's something I'd really want to get involved in. I'd leave it to those parties. I mean, I know there's a traffic study that's underway, or not underway, but I know it's coming. So I'd be curious to see what, how that shakes out and see what's done about it.
So what's the traffic study that you say is underway, Jason? Is that what I probably heard about related to Center Street and Springdale?
Yeah, I think it's next spring. They're basically looking at each of our intersections here, the center, down here, Dedham, just kind of looking at all like those intersection type areas or bottleneck, whatever you'd like to call them.
And do you know if they're doing any air quality monitoring at those and as part of that study?
Not that I'm aware of.
Who's involved in the study on this part of the town?
Highway department.
Might be interesting to talk to them about whether there is some attention being paid to air quality. This is only tangentially related, but in the article that had that map that Jason just put up, the authors report that the air quality data has, in the areas they assessed, has improved over time as the emission controls on vehicles have improved. I mean, it's obvious that that should happen, but it's great to see that it's actually measurable and has made a significant difference. What do the rest of you think about asking the highway department about whether air quality is part of this study?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we should. And I think we should also see if we can apply to get these PM 2.5 monitors too. I mean, they're relatively inexpensive, but if the state is paying for it, why not?
Well, I think it would be good to talk to the highway department
Yeah.
about it and not just go ahead on our own.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
as a first step, absolutely.
Yeah, because one thing too is, so I definitely like this idea of this device that you shared, John.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into getting our hands on that. But then from there, it's a question of where does it go? Like, can we stick it to a traffic light? Like, I don't know where something like that even goes, and I'm not sure what the best location would be.
Yeah, it has to
so-
have electrical power and it has to have access to Wi-Fi. So probably somewhere near the community center, near the townhouse.
To go back to my question about what do you do with the data from something like this, it would seem to me that that it would be great to have baseline data about where we are now, and then if there's a study that's done and recommendations are made, come out of that, and there are some changes, then it would be very interesting to see what kind of data we got afterward.
Yeah.
Interesting, but maybe not actionable. But you never know if something's actionable until you know what the results are, right?
Yeah. I apologize, Steve. Kay, I have to step off. It's something I've got to take care of. But thanks everyone. Thanks Sophia. Thanks Jason. Thanks Gail for all your work.
Thank you, John.
Thank you,
All
John.
right.
Okay. All right, anything else on that topic, anyone? The air quality topic? So we'll put that on our agenda not next month, but at our next regular meeting. And
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to kind of explore a little bit. I mean, for all of us, it's really not something we've ever gotten too much into here. So
yeah,
I'm all for kind of seeing what we can do.
okay. Do we have any old business? Silence. So are we therefore ready to adjourn?
Minutes.
There.
Oh yes,
Oh,
thank you,
oh,
Steve.
Steve, thank you. And
Yeah,
also,
that would have been no good.
all right. So, Steve, do you have any changes?
I offered them to Sophie and she's incorporated them already.
She's incorporated them. Okay, so I have just a few. In number 2, the first sentence, John Jeffries joins the board to discuss Meeting House Hill and the issue of contaminated soil being removed. I would say from town property abutting their neighborhood.
Sophia should have picked that up. I had also suggested we do that.
Okay. All right. Next, well, I may have printed this before.
Yeah, if you have the newer one, it has some changes incorporated.
Yeah. So then number 5, the paragraph that begins with Amy Moot. Did you suggest that one too, Steve?
Amy would know, I suspect. I'm sorry, Sophia would know.
Yeah.
I suspect.
Well, anyway, I'll just tell you
Yeah.
it's minor. She's I would say Amy Moot, president of the DLCT. President of the DLCT board inquires about requests to hunt on her own property, just to make sure that it's not, people don't think it's on the DLCT property. Let's see. That's everything. They're great minutes, Sophia.
Thank you.
You write well.
Thank you.
We await your novel.
Okay, everyone. Are we now done?
Wait, did you vote to approve those?
Oh, no, thank you, Jason.
Vote to approve. I make a motion that we vote to approve the minutes as amended in the second version and with the addition of Kay's suggestions that we just voted as well.
Okay, minutes from September 8th, 2025. Second. All in favor? I.K. Peterson.
Stephen Cresco.
Okay, now I just want to say, there was an attendee who's now gone, so I was going to ask if there was anything we needed to get to with that person, but I guess not. So, all right, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? I.K. Peterson.
Aye, Stephen Cresco.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Good job.
Yeah, very productive meeting. Thank you.
Yep. We'll see you guys.
See ya. Thanks for all your prep, Jason.
No, thank you guys.